Hey, I'm Joey, and this is a quick devotional to help fill your news feed with more of Jesus. And Mark 1:16 through 20 says this. As Jesus walked beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and his brother Andrew casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. "Come, follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." At once they left their nets and followed him. When he had gone a little farther, he saw James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John in a boat, preparing their nets. Without delay he called them, and they left their father Zebedee in the boat with the hired men and followed him. One thing that really surprises me when I read this particular passage is how ready and willing the disciples were to actually go and follow Jesus. I imagine they didn't really know who this Jesus was, and if they did, they may only have heard a tiny little bit of who he was and that he was baptized in this Jordan River and God was calling down his name and the Spirit fell on him. I'm sure that kind of news would travel fast. However, it still is quite shocking. They left their livelihood, they left other men, they left their fathers, and they went and followed him. And some scholars think this is because the disciples knew that Jesus was a rabbi, or he was acting like a rabbi. And rabbis would actually take young men under their wing and teach them the Torah, and they would basically follow these rabbis and learn from them. And that was just what they did. The disciples weren't an odd thing. It was actually a common thing to be a disciple. However, it was an exclusive thing. So these disciples were probably late teens, at most early 20s, and they were asked to follow Jesus, who was somewhere in between 30 and 33 years old. But one thing that's also interesting is that Jesus asked fishermen to follow him. He asked the most ordinary of ordinary men to start this revolution of God's kingdom coming in the person of Jesus and to continue it on after Jesus left. And this is really startling because these are just ordinary men. Surely Jesus could have picked more extraordinary people. But it's really reassuring for me and for you that Jesus likes to choose ordinary people because it seems like God's glory shines the brightest through ordinary people. And within 300 years of church history, from the moment Jesus was raised from the dead to when the Roman Empire adopted Christianity as its main religion, these 300 years went by, and they were built on the foundation of men who started out as fishermen. So how much more can God use you? If you are ordinary, how much more can he use you to impact the world?